But if you thought Vigilant received special treatment, wait until you hear about Corporal Scott Bertzik.
I'm not gonna cuff you.
I know, I'm sorry.
On January 1st, 2021, Officer Shutterly was called to a car crash in Gainesville, Florida. To her surprise, she immediately recognized Corporal Scott Bertzik as involved. Bertzik, or Birdie as she called him, was reaching down for his lighter when he crashed into Tevin Gardner's vehicle that had just started to move at a green traffic light. Birdie was obviously slurring his words and struggled with every move you can imagine. But don't get fooled. If you thought he'd be immediately investigated for DUI, you'd be dead wrong.
That sucks. Police Neil's off. He can come give you a ride.
Just goddamn repaired that.
Do you want me to let him know you found the insurance?
The same fucking thing.
Well, maybe you should not do that then.
After a brief small talk with the old friend, Officer Shutterly proceeds to talk to Tevin Gardner, the man whose car Birdie crashed into. On August 29, 2019, Officer Smith stopped two women in a car for faulty brake lights. But there was something about Pectra that the officer found strangely familiar.
Reason I stopped you is your right brake light is out. Who do you work for?
So did you stop me because my right brake light is out?
Yeah.
Or did you stop me to ask me who I work for?
Well, I'm asking you both.
DCS.
What?
DCS.
DCS. What's DCS?
You don't know what
Department
DCS?
of Children's Services?
No. Okay. So if you stop me for my right brake light, then we can address that.
Okay.
Okay.
Is your license then?
While Pectra's occupation seemed irrelevant and a faulty brake light stop, Officer Smith had valid reason behind the question. Before the stop, Pectra had gotten into a convenience store with a gun and a police badge where she was given free food with the idea that she was a police officer. But Officer Smith hadn't seen her before. Soon he realized his support is rather counterproductive. The second police officer at the scene had to step up to assert authority and make sure Vigilant is aware that he can't expect any special treatment from them.
You're not handcuffed right now. I want you to remain calm and be cool, okay? There's an outstanding warrant issued for your arrest. It's out of Lake County, okay? So your beef is not with us, okay? I understand, Sergeant House and you have a relationship, okay? We want to maintain professionalism and respect, okay, but we still have a job to do, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to get you secured, we're going to confirm the warrant, okay? We will provide all the information with you, okay? And we will be, like I said, cordial, respectful, and mindful, okay? If you feel like you're going to pass out or if things are going to become too overwhelming for you, you need to relay that to me, okay? Because your well-being at the end of the day is still a priority. I will make sure that we get you evaluated so nothing escalates from there, okay?
On November 9, 2022, officers received a harassment complaint against a woman named Simone who was recently fired from her workplace for vaping. And upon approaching her, the officers immediately regretted it.
Hi.
What's going on, Simone?
Do you have questions for me?
Yeah, so what's going on with you and your old boss?
So someone called my job and trashed me.
Okay.
Someone told them I vape at my desk.
It started off quite smooth. Nothing out of the ordinary, just old Simone complaining about stuff. But then her complaints became more threatening.
It shouldn't be a domestic dispute. All this is a job in real estate.
Right.
So the fact that somebody called my job and said that Simone vapes at her desk is insulting. I'm not trying to make anybody nervous here. I'm not trying to threaten anybody. But my mother works for the state of New Jersey, and she's a prosecutor. And I work in real estate, and my dad has worked in real estate.
On December 28, 2022, officers were notified of a hit-and-run accident, and they approached someone who believed to be in connection to the incident, but they weren't aware of what awaited them.
Applebee's.
You come back from Applebee's?
Yeah, I had a drink.
Okay. How old are you?
21.
You're 21?
Yeah.
65. We're just going to play this out for now.
My dad is, Sean Lee.
Who was that?
Sean Lee.
Sean Lee? Okay.
Straight away, Teresa laid it on the officer that he was talking to a sheriff deputy's daughter, and although that didn't have the effect she thought it would, she decided it was worth one more try.
Can I call my dad, who's a sheriff's officer?
Let the one officer come here who's out with your other part of your bumper. He's going to talk to you, and then we'll go from there, okay?
Teresa was stopped because her car's front bumper was at the scene of the hit that pulled down a traffic light. And although she had previously denied hitting anything, Teresa now realized that the cops weren't joking around.
I remember hitting something after Applebee's. But
Okay.
I'm saying, like,
And then did you drive away because you're scared because you had maybe had one drink and you think you're drunk?
Yeah.
And you might get arrested? But
On August 27, 2021, a cop pulled over a Honda after noticing a traffic violation, and when he approached the car, he was notably enthusiastic with the occupants.
No, you don't know?
I was a little fast, I will give you that.
All right, yeah, you were holding a little bit.
The officer noted there were 2 young girls in the car, and so he adjusted his demeanor to mirror theirs in hopes for a smooth traffic stop. But the cop soon realized he needed to be more reserved with them.
So as you were making that right-hand turn, okay, you, rather than turning in the outside lane, which was closest to you, you turned into the inside lane, which was furthest from you.
It's just what I got marked down on, so...
You got marked down on that?
Yeah, and
Oh
my
my
dad is actually a... My dad's a police officer, so he
Oh, where
taught
at?
me how to drive. It's Seattle, Port of Seattle.
Oh, Port of Seattle? Okay. All right. Well, give me a second. I'll be right back with you, okay?
The driver of the vehicle, Ashley, was taught how to drive by her father, who was a cop, and was now being pulled over for a traffic violation by another cop. At this point, the only way the cop could be sure about anything was to check for himself. And in the process, he uncovered something truly disturbing.
That happened.
When?
My brother, he said it.
How long ago?
happened,
Days?
Yeah, it was,
Okay. Come back. Just leave this here. Come back here. Just stay right here in front of my car.
The driver's side of the vehicle was riddled with bullet holes. This was greatly concerning and became even more disturbing when Michael let out a strange smile when he saw it. The cop, on the other hand, took it seriously and he urgently needed an explanation, but before he could find one, a truck pulled up behind his car, and what happened next was completely unexpected.
His family in Monroe is looking for him. They sent me out here to
Okay. All right. Well, I got somebody pulling up behind me, scooter. All right. Thank you, fella. Hey, now. Who are you?
I mean, they scared me to death.
Well, how are y'all here?
Cause my people from Monroe, that's him on the phone.
What do you mean they were looking for him?
They looking for him. The car missing. Hey.
Okay, give me the phone.
Because I'm not really comfortable with this whole thing at all.
Officer Shutterly called for her supervisor to make sure there's no conflict of interest. Seemingly, it's the right thing to do. But let's not forget she just refused to take photos of the damaged vehicle unless there's DUI involved.
Unless there's a DUI involved, we don't usually take photos.
This was all part of Officer Shutterly's master plan. She tried to get the victim out of the scene as fast as possible to protect her boss from higher charges from the victim. Birdie even takes it a step further and asks whether her body cam is turned on.
You on?
Yes. Yes, I am. And I'm going to remain on
Fair enough.
because integrity.
Shortly after, the supervisor, Officer Valdez, arrives at the scene. But instead of her drunk boss, she's more concerned about the victim being present at the parking lot.
He was still in the car.
And he's free to go?
Yeah, he's
or-
good.
Okay, is he just hanging out to hang
Yeah,
out?
because his car's all jacked up on the back.
Oh, so we have him a tow, or what is he doing exactly, I guess?
I think his sister is coming to pick him up.
So because a black person walks into a store with a badge and a gun, it's an issue.
That has nothing to do with you
never
being
seen
black. Has nothing to do with you being black.
Because you never seen me before?
I don't recognize you.
What that got to do with me and where I work?
Are you a police officer or you're not a police
I'm
officer?
not a police officer.
You're not a police officer?
No,
So why would you go into Quick Trip and get free food with your badge and gun?
because I'm an officer. You don't have to be a police officer to go in there. I've been doing it for 3 years.
Petra wasn't a police officer, but she was an officer, and as crazy as that sounds, she was right. Petra was a former officer for the Department of Community Supervision, and the gun and badge didn't belong to her, but to the lady in the passenger seat who was still an active worker in the department. So Petra appeared as an officer for free food, and apart from a possible impersonation charge, she managed to secure a call to DCS for not only herself, but her friend as well.
I have one of your employees here, Brandy Green. She was with her friend, Petra Edgerton. Brandy decided that she was going to give Petra her badge and her gun to go into Quick Trip and get some food.
The man touched his nose, scratched his beard, and had multiple drinks of water, all signs that he was nervous. The cops noticed this, then their resolve to search the house only increased, and since the man mentioned he had no problem with that, the cops didn't expect what he did next.
You could go in, but you could go in.
Just lead us through?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Do you have a key?
No.
Why would you lock the door behind you?
I just usually do that.
So how do you get in?
I don't know.
How about this other little door that's over here?
It's just barricaded up.
With what?
Garbage can and some stuff.
So how do you get in the house? Why did you lock the doors? Because I feel like you're fucking with me. What the hell? What's the deal?
I'm not trying to fuck with you, you're saying.
You understand how this looks, right?
That's right.
He locked the door on his way out of the house, and this gave the impression that he locked himself out to keep the cops out as well. At this point, the man presented himself as a suspect, but the cops managed to reach a compromise with the man and he eventually opened up another door leading into the house. The next suspect was even less original.
So you saw her in the position that she's currently in now?
Yes, sir.
On the 5th of May, 2023, police received a worrying call from a woman who hadn't been able to reach her sister for several days. So deputies were dispatched to the sister's home for a welfare check. But upon arrival, they witnessed something very strange. The deputies searched around the house, knocked on the doors, and even looked through the windows, but they saw no sign of movement in the house. They even went as far as knocking on the neighbors' apartments in desperate need of any information, and they discovered something very crucial about the woman's whereabouts.
Have you seen Lainey recently?
The girl?
Yeah, next door neighbor.
Just the guys over there.
When's the last time you seen them?
Him, he usually walks up and down the road, but her, I haven't seen her in a while.
How long would a while be? Days, months?
Day or two.
Couple days.
Three
Yeah.
3 days or something like that.
When's the last time you seen the boys?
Yesterday.
Okay, so nobody today.
And after several minutes of desperately pacing around, the cops were about to break into the house, but were immediately stopped by an unexpected movement.
Oh, did you hear us knocking before? Were you knocked out?
No, I was sleeping in there.
I'm glad you woke up because you're about to come inside. We're looking for Mom. Have you seen her?
She's not around right now.
Do you know where she's at? His sister's asking for her. She's not in any trouble or anything like that.
I have no idea.
When was the last time you saw her?
A few days ago.
Where'd she go?
She just went to the store and said she'd be back in a little while.
But you haven't seen Mom since then.
The son, supposedly in his 30s, finally came out of the house, but he wasn't much help to the deputies, informing them he hadn't seen or talked to her in days. But the cops noticed something odd about him. He had his head down when answering their questions, making sure to avoid eye contact with the cops, and he became increasingly suspicious when they proposed to search the house.
And it would be alright if they just went inside to make sure she's not in there?
While this man did the bare minimum to hide his secret, Elizabeth Espinoza put a lot of effort into it.
No, tienen perra. No, me dijeron que because of the tents, they said the tents were too dark. And
on January 7, 2020, a patrol trooper pulled over a vehicle on suspicion that the window tint was unlawfully dark. But the patrol trooper wasn't aware that his interaction with the woman would uncover her hidden secrets.
I just have you step over here on the grass, that way we're not too close to the roadway. And you said no issues with your license today, correct? Okay.
I do have a picture. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, I'll look at it in just a minute.
Okay.
When did you lose your license?
I lost it like 2-3 days ago.
4 days ago.
After checking the windows with a tint meter and confirming they were above the legal tint level, the trooper requested Elizabeth's information and proceeded to confirm it. Everything leading to this point seemed normal, and it appeared the lady was about to leave the scene with a ticket. But when another trooper arrived at the scene with a K-9 unit in his patrol car, things took an unexpectedly dramatic turn.
Hey, Chris, what's going on, man?